Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Wednesday evening. I managed to go to work today. I can almost speak properly. So, yeah, things are getting better with the toothache. Um, this evening we are talking preparedness. And you all know the sort of preps I have. I've got my food, I've got my power cut basket, I've got all sorts of different things. But I had a thought, and I think it's something that we all need to consider, and I think it's something that we need to consider quite seriously. Um, because I was sitting crocheting, as I have been for the past few days, and just when I was thinking, of course, the UK's got its election coming up, and I was like, yep, right, okay, just not going to get involved. But I thought, is there going to be, what do we want from any of the politicians? And then that sort of got lost when I realised, and I was like, we want the basics. And the basics at the moment, one of the biggest things, according to Sky News, one of the biggest things in all their polls was the cost of living crisis. And a lot of the cost of living crisis comes from rent or mortgage. The cost of putting the roof over your head, how much that costs as a percentage of your income. And it's gone up so much in the last 20 odd years. And I was like, right, so, we want house building. However, over the last couple of years, when I have seen a few reports, and I know there was one, I watched something on YouTube just recently, I think it was a Channel 4 thing, and it was an economist, and he was saying, homes are huge. And he spoke to a house builder who said, yeah, we've got permission for 1,000 houses here. But we've had to stop it, whatever it was. Let's just say it was 200. We've had to stop there. And he's like, well, why? And he said, because the water supply. There's not enough water supply. It needs to get extended for us to be able to build houses. And I was like, oh. And I know that in this area, there was houses were stopped getting built. There was a blanket ban on houses getting built until the sewage works got upgraded. I know down in the southeast of England, their planning permission, even if it's been agreed, they cannot start building until the national grid has built up its supply. I'm so sorry, you need to excuse the yawning, it's the painkillers. So in the last couple of years within the UK, house builders have had permission to build, but have not been able to build properties until the most basic infrastructure is improved. Now, the national grid, when I read that, as I say, it was a couple of years ago, so it was before the really big hit of electric vehicles and heat pumps and stuff. And so, obviously, Patrick being an electrician, he's like, so how is the national grid going to expand what it can supply for new homes if all the old homes are adding on electric chargers? If parking in the street is adding on electric chargers, they're taking off the national grid. So how are the new houses going to get electricity? The national grid's adding capacity, but it's getting taken away by stuff that's already there. Okay, good point. Now, we all know, we've all heard the stuff about the price of water, the water companies saying they need more investment, etc., etc. Don't even start me on the dividends and stuff. But they're saying that it's going to take so much time to improve the sewage, to improve the water, etc., etc., which means that houses cannot get built. Right, okay. So this got me to thinking, saying, yeah, I've got my preps, I've got, but I have always thought I'm all right for electricity going. I've got the wood burner, I've got the Calor gas heater, I've got windy up lamps, I've got batteries, candles, etc. So electricity doesn't scare me that much. However, water, I'm in Scotland, I always expected to have water. However, I do know that for electricity, they will take electricity from Scotland to give to the rest of the country because, like, London's more important. And I'm just wondering if there are pipelines for that for water. And even if there's not, floods can damage your water supply. So I need to get myself a water filter. I know I've said that before. I need to get the water bob. Thank you to people who put that in the comments. I need a water bob because I had never actually thought of the fundamentals. I had thought of, I need to have food. We all think of we need to have food. That's what everyone thinks of when they think of prepping. Cupboards full of food. But what if the actual infrastructure has a problem? It wouldn't take much. We've seen it just recently where water's gone funny and they've had to, bring in bottles and bottles of water. Now, that's all right if you're in that area, but if you're in the wee village 10 miles down the road, it's a big problem trying to get water. So, yeah, I need to go and rethink what I've been thinking. And I think it's something that I should tell you about how my brain's thinking, because I had not thought about that. And the fact of, as I say, the fact that, they cannot build houses because they don't have the infrastructure for the water, the sewage, or the electricity. That should tell us something. And I find that quite worrying. So yes, I know I'm scaremongering, and I don't mean to, but it seems such a simple thing. And everyone's clamouring, saying, we need more houses. There's too many people in temporary accommodation. There's too many people in, homeless shelters and stuff like that, and living in hotel rooms. There's so many homes have got planning permission but cannot get built because the infrastructure isn't there. That, I think, is a very important thing, and it's something that we should add to our preps. So yeah, that's my thought for this evening. Now I'm going to go and sit in my chair and nap, because I'm sure you can tell the painkillers are kicking in and I need to go nap. So I will catch you later. Bye.